Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Community Journal. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate you tuning us in, and I hope you've been able to stay dry.
I know. Boy, has it been raining here, huh,
Boy,
for the
has
past
it,
couple of days?
has it ever. It's been quite wet. We've had quite a bit of rain here, depending on where you are on Cape Cod. I've officially measured in West Harwich just about a little over 3.5 inches of rain so far, and it's still raining.
And we didn't have rain on Tuesday, which I believe off Cape they did.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah, in the
we only
Boston
had,
area.
we did not
Yeah.
have any then. And it's amazing, some parts of the Cape, we were talking to somebody in Harwichport where it was
Yep.
not raining
Yesterday morning,
yesterday morning,
Yeah.
and we looked outside our window and you couldn't see it was raining so hard.
it was
So,
pelting, and
yeah,
the wind was blowing it.
yeah, so
If it
it's
was snow, it would have been a blizzard.
just crazy weather. But we did need the rain. We were quite dry until this time. We were under 2 inches of rain for the whole month. And of course now we're well above that. And I happened to look at the total for the year, and we're up over 40 inches of precipitation for the year now.
And is that
So
good?
that's just about our average. So we're probably
Oh,
going to be
good.
above average for the year by the time the year is done. So that's a good thing because we have
It
been
is.
dry.
It is. We do need the rain, but it's hard when it all comes at once for days.
That's true. That's very, very true. So hopefully we'll have a nice weekend.
Yes, they are predicting that.
Well, they are predicting that. Well, our first spot today, Ron sat down with Michael at the Conservation Trust to bring us up to date as to what's going on. So let's take a look at that right now.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Community Journal. We're here this morning with Michael Locke, the Executive Director of the Harwich Conservation Trust. And Michael, it's always great to have you for your monthly update.
Nice to see you, Ron,
Thank
and
you.
thank you to you and your fellow volunteers and the staff here at Channel 18.
Oh,
What
we're
a
always
great
happy to see you.
resource. Yeah, good to see you.
You had a very busy month this month of October.
Yes.
How's the next month shaping up?
It's looking good. We're focusing on a number of projects, including continued attention on our Cold Brook Ecological Restoration Project, which is focused on helping to restore natural wetland and stream habitats to more than 60-acre preserve, which is our largest protected landholding in Harwichport. And it's named after Robert F. Smith,
Bob Smith, yeah.
founding trustee and the president of the organization for the first 27 years.
Wow.
Well known throughout town.
Oh, yeah. Nice man.
Yeah, it was a nice way to honor
Great.
his work and his vision for protecting land and water throughout town. So we're working on this ecological restoration project. You see a map of the site here on your screen. And you can see how Cold Brook flows under Bank Street being the road running north-south on the left of your screen, flows under Bank Street through the 60-plus acres, and then down hooks south under Hoyt Road and under Route 28 and eventually into Saquatucket Harbor. And this is a great map to have up for a little bit more as I described.
I didn't realize it was that big.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I had no idea.
Right, quite a wonderful diversity of habitats right there in the middle of Harwich, quite a wildlife sanctuary as well. But some challenges because of the past 100-plus years of agricultural use.
That was a bog, right?
That's right, and cranberry roots run
Cranberry
deep
bog,
in Harwich, and Harwich Conservation Trust actually has another property in which it owns an active bog, which we lease to a local grower. This particular site was in a different condition when we acquired it. Bog operations had mostly been discontinued prior to acquisition, and it left relics of disintegrating flumes through which the stream has to flow.
Oh, yeah.
You can see some photos here. And those, some of them more than others, are in danger of collapse, which would cause quite a problem for not only water backing up in the system, but also for fish migration. And so In addition to removing those flumes, we're going to be looking at the more than foot of sand that was layered on top of the natural wetlands over 100 plus years, and looking at ways to basically bring back some of the more natural ecological processes which provide for healthier habitats and therefore healthier diversity of wildlife species across the site's wetland and stream habitats. You can see a real good photo there of some of the decaying water control structure through which Coldbrook must flow.
Now, is that the area where you have the wetlands music stroll?
That's right.
Oh, that's what
That's
I thought.
right,
Okay,
yes.
a great place to walk. And
Wonderful place to walk.
Yeah, super.
And yes, so we want to also enhance the visitor experience as part of this restoration project. We want to keep that in mind. We're working with our primary project partners, the state's Division of Ecological Restoration and the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. The most recent news about this project is that the Cape Cod Conservation District, which covers Barnstable County's 15 towns, of which Harwich is one, the Cape Cod Conservation District just received word that the federal government will be distributing funds through the U.S. Department of Agriculture for natural resource management and restoration to sites throughout the counties, our Barnstable County's 15 towns. Harwich Conservation Trust Coldbrook Restoration Project is one of the designated sites. We just don't know how much in terms of funding will help us, and those funds from this particular Cape Cod Conservation District program will focus on fish passage enhancement, meaning removing those water control structures, and also tidal restoration, improving the tidal flow in the southerly portion of the property so that there can be additional salt marsh habitat that grows there over time. So that's the latest update. Meanwhile, we're in the middle of designing the ecological restoration path.
That's a big job.
It is a big
for
job.
that area.
It
Yeah,
is.
as large.
It's already
as
taken,
large as it is. Wow.
Yes, it's already taken several years, and we're continuing to move forward. We're hoping to finalize the eco restoration design in 2018. So stay tuned.
Wow. Okay, so you have a land donation on Hinckley's Pond to talk about?
Yes. So wonderful land donation by the Brown family, Jake and Barbara Brown in particular. You'll see a map shortly showing where this land, the 7.2 acres, sits amidst Hinckley's Pond and other protected land that the Trust has worked on with local individuals and families over the years. I'm just going to orient you here. So you see Hinckley's Pond in the lower half, the blue there on the lower half of your screen, and to the north you have Seymour's Pond, and off to the east or right of your screen you see just that edge of Long Pond. And you see those blue streams connecting Long Pond to Hinckley's Pond. That one's called Princess Brook. And another connecting Seymour's Pond to Hinckley's Pond called Cahoon Canal. And on the bottom part of your screen, you see another stream, the Herring River.
Herring River, yeah.
So this is all part of one of the most significant river herring spawning systems in New England, right? Of course, the namesake of the Herring River, the herring themselves, migrate from Nantucket Sound through the Herring River up into Hinckley's Pond, also into Seymour's Pond, and also into Long Pond through those streams shown there. So we've been working with individuals and families over the past decade or more to preserve shoreline on these herring spawning ponds. In particular, in this frame, what you see is several hundred feet of shoreline preserved through conservation restrictions donated to HCT by the Welch family and Rita Root's family. Rita Root's family also has significant shoreline on Seymour's Pond, another herring spawning pond. And so river herring populations, as you know, have declined precipitously over the past couple decades, so much so that over the past several years there has been a prohibition on the taking or even touching of local river herring. And so we think, as part of our piece of providing a solution and hopefully an eventual recovery of river herring populations, we want to protect their spawning grounds, including land along the stream migration routes, land along the shoreline of their spawning ponds. So it's a role that folks who support Harwich Conservation Trust can help us play in this bigger picture of bringing back river herring to healthy populations. So the most recent piece of this puzzle, protecting land on Hinckley's Pond, occurs just to the lower left corner of your screen in the lighter shade of green there. That's the Browns' property, 7.2 acres with over 300 feet of shoreline on Hinckley's Pond, just a stone's throw away from the mouth, or not the mouth, but the start of the Herring River and the source of the Herring River there, which is also a herring run. It's also where our volunteer herring counters keep track each spring, April and May, of the number of herring passing from the river into Hinckley's Pond. So just a ecologically strategic location for a gift of land and long-term benefit to the water quality of Hinckley's Pond for river herring and as for people too. We'll see a few photos now of Jake Brown and Barbara Brown and one of their neighbors. There's Jake wandering the woods of the land that he recently protected with the Harwich Conservation Trust. He also earned a $75,000 state income tax credit by virtue of his gift to the trust. We've been working with individuals and families to acquire these state income tax credits for their gifts of land. Quite a powerful tax advantage for people giving land to the trust. Here's Jake shown standing and Barbara seated. Barbara, his wife, you know, they also have land next to this land that they donated. It has a family cottage on it, and they bring their kids and grandkids out every summer to enjoy the beauty of Hinckley's Pond and surrounds. And there's Jake off to the left talking about the land pictured in back of him that he's donated to Harwich Conservation Trust. He's talking to his neighbor in the red shirt there, Everett Eldridge, who goes way back as well. They're just good people, you know, working towards creating a safe place for wildlife, better water quality through good stewardship, and ultimately the Brown family, very forward-thinking in a conservation-minded way with the gift of this land.
All the way around the ponds there, you've got a lot of people made some nice donations.
They have, yes. You know, it's amazing. You know, we continue to look for opportunities to protect ponds in particular.
Okay. Now, Seymour and Hinckley's Pond, they're smaller than Long Pond,
That's right. Long Pond happens to be the largest pond on the Cape.
Oh, it is?
Yes,
Okay.
Yeah.
It is huge.
It is.
Oh, that's great to get a donation like that.
It is. It is. Very, very generous of them.
That's wonderful. So last time we talked a little bit about the Cornelius Pond Woodland Project, and you had some pictures, I think.
Right, right. Speaking of ponds.
Speaking of ponds.
It's really this Priority Ponds project of Harwich Conservation Trust is a real important initiative. Over the past several years, through strong community support, we've been able to acquire or receive gifts of land across up to 9 different ponds, totaling more than 5,000 feet of shoreline.
Wow,
and combining more than 100 acres of preserved land. And so now what we're trying to do is raise matching funds to help us reach our project goal to preserve 15 acres with more than 1,000 feet. Imagine that, more than 1,000 feet of shoreline along the westerly shore of Cornelius Pond. This is a wonderful aerial photo taken by Zygote Digital Films, who we work with on project videos. There's a great video about this particular project, just 2 minutes long. You can see it on our website. But you can see the outline of the land, the portion of the land that's shown in this image, outlined in red. and the 15 acres stretching out there. There's wetland habitat, there's a natural interior meadow, there's forest, and of course there's this more than 1,000 feet of pond shore. Cornelius Pond happens to be one of these ponds known as a coastal plain pond. So imagine, more than 18,000 years ago, the ice sheet, the glacier, moving across the landscape and melting as it recedes northward through melting, leaving huge blocks of ice in its wake, giant chunks of ice that made these depressions in the landscape. Then in the ensuing time, post-glacier, groundwater levels rise and they start to fill these depressions, which we know as our kettle ponds. And this is a great example. And these particular coastal plain ponds, named for the coastal plain outwash from the receding meltwater, the receding glacier's meltwater, have a very important habitat that is home to can be home to a number of rare plant and animal species. In this particular case, isn't that a beautiful photo right there of the shoreline?
Yeah, it is.
And the reflection in that still pond of the
You have
trees.
good photographers. I said that before.
Isn't that amazing?
They really
Volunteers,
are good.
all volunteers.
Yeah, super.
Contributing their images of land, water,
That's
and
great.
wildlife. It is amazing. So this particular pond shoreline is home to, and I didn't bring you a photo this time, but maybe next time, is home to a beautiful rare wildflower called Plymouth gentian. And it has a population right on the shoreline. So it's another reason to protect this landscape, this 15-acre landscape. Here's a nice photo of the interior meadow. Not a lot of invasive plants, which is amazing. And it's amazing just to have 15 acres still available on a pond.
It is great.
So what we have in place is an anonymous challenge donor has issued a $425,000 challenge. So if we can raise $425,000 in matching funds, we will reach our total project goal of $850,000 to preserve this landscape permanently.
It's an ambitious project.
It is, it is. We have until December
But you've had some
next
other
year.
large ones, and you've always met your goals,
thanks
which is
to
great.
strong community support. We're just really on the start of this campaign, so it's just a gorgeous property. Eventually, when we preserve it, if we can raise those matching funds, we're going to open up a beautiful walking trail loop right off Queen Anne Road so that folks can enjoy this land for themselves.
Now this is part of our fresh water for drinking and
and this particular property happens to be located in the geographic area known as Phase 4 of the town's comprehensive wastewater management plan. So by preserving this property, we're also reducing the potential cost for taxpayers for wastewater treatment going forward. Yeah, so there's another benefit.
As a taxpayer, I appreciate that.
You're welcome. So people can learn more about this wonderful 15-acre Cornelius Pond Woodlands project
It looks like
on
a
our
beautiful
website.
area. It really does.
It's gorgeous.
It is. That's great. You have some really good projects going, Michael, and I hope you have the best of luck in raising the money. You always seem to make it. So.
Well, thanks to individuals and families and foundations and businesses who are generous.
We're lucky that there are a lot of generous people.
We are. We're very lucky. Yeah.
So.
Thank you for having me.
Well, thanks for coming, and we're always happy to see you. And
Likewise.
we'll see you next month for the next update.
I'll be here.
All right. Thank you, Michael. Very good.
And a big thank you to both Michael and Ron. A great interview and some wonderful projects going on.
I know. It's amazing what they're able to acquire.
It really is, and you know, it just keeps the personality of the town the way most people like it, I think.
Exactly,
You know, it's wonderful. They do wonderful work, and you know, I was commenting on some of the photography.
I know, beautiful.
And Jamie was telling us that many of those pictures are taken by volunteers that just happen to be really good with a camera. So
It's amazing the talent out there.
yeah, it really is.
Yes.
It's really fantastic. Well, the holidays are quickly approaching, believe it or not.
Yes.
And, you know, we have an effort going on here. The Harwich Community Center is going to be partnering with the Cape Cod Cares for Our Troops to hold a collection drive for our troops. Support our troops this holiday season. Cape Cod Cares for Our Troops has been sending care packages to our deployed troops since 2005, supporting our Blue Star families, our veterans, wounded warriors, and honoring our Gold Star heroes and their families. We need your donations to show our soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines that they are not alone. We welcome any donation that you're able to contribute. And, you know, this collection, there is a big collection box right in the lobby here at the community center. And the end date is fast approaching for the collection so that they can get the items in a timely fashion. The end date is November 14th. And, you know, another thing that they would really like you to do if you could is also encourage the donors to include personal letters of appreciation. These are often the most cherished items in the care packages. You can drop off your donations at the community center in the specified donation box located right in the lobby. One little sad note, this morning as we looked in the box, there was nothing in the box.
Yeah.
It was empty. And we would really like to see that box full. You know, this is only right. And to send a care package to a soldier, you know, it means an awful lot. The wish list is so many different things. I mean, stuff that you have around the house. You know, I can't read them all, but, you know, hats, gloves, scarves, batteries, paper, pens, towels, sheets, crossword puzzles, you know, a book of crossword puzzles, books, deodorant, foot powder, body lotions, toiletries of all kinds, candy, gum, coffee singles.
When you're shopping, get one for yourself and get one for somebody that you can donate.
I mean, power bars, powdered drink mixes, beef jerky, trail mix, nuts. You know, there's so many things that, you know, could be around the house that, you know, you could just drop them off. So please come on up to the community center by November 14th and drop something in that box for the people that are taking care of us in this country. So please do that.
Yes.
That would be great.
If everybody who is listening just brings one item, I bet we'll have that box full in no time.
That would be great. And if you have any questions, you can call 508-430-7568. That's 508-430-7568.
Great. And now I have a notice from the Harwich Chamber of Commerce. They are sponsoring a Harwich's scavenger hunt. Get the play on
That's really
words?
good.
It's really cute. HAR-WITCHES. It is ongoing now through November 20th. And how it works is this. You have to answer 5 questions correctly to be entered into their drawing of prizes from the participating businesses. So each business that I'm going to mention and that will be on the form that you can get at the Harwich Chamber of Commerce will have their own 5 questions that you have to answer. The forms can be picked up at the Harwich Chamber of Commerce Monday through Friday from 9 to 4 p.m. And for any questions about this, you can call the Harwich Chamber of Commerce at 508-430-1165. And to help you get started, I'm going to tell you a few businesses in each part of town that are participating. In East Harwich, now these are just a few of many. In East Harwich, the Cooperative Bank of Cape Cod, Hair Works. In Harwich Port, a sampling is Glued, Brenda Weeks Travel, Cranberry Jewelers, George's Pizza, Sativa, Susan PV Travel, and there's others too that are involved from Harwich Port. In Harwich Center, the Royal Assisted Living, and in Harwich, Sandcastle Doggy Play Care. So if you pick up a form at the Chamber of Commerce, it will have a full listing of all the businesses that are participating. Sounds like fun, and the
It
drawing
sure
is going to be
does.
held on the 21st.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yes.
And I've got news about a turkey dinner.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, the Harwich United Methodist Church will have its annual turkey dinner for $12 on Saturday, November 4th, starting at 5:30 p.m. Children 12 and under, $6. So that's a great deal. That's going to be taking place in their fellowship hall located at 1 Church Street in Harwich. If you need to contact them, it's 508-432-3734. That's 508-432-3734 for a great turkey dinner being held November 4th at 5:30 p.m. At the Harwich United Methodist Church.
Sounds yummy.
It does sound yummy, it really does. The next spot today is a sort of a special one. This is, as you know, down at Saquatucket Harbor, they are doing a huge makeover down there. And what better way to take a look at this than through the eyes of a drone? Now, Caleb, he is really good at controlling a drone, and he is going to give us a bird's eye view of the progress of what's going on down at Saquatucket Harbor. So let's take a look at that right now. Well, congratulations to Caleb. What a great job.
Magnificent.
That is absolutely magnificent
Yes.
to get a view that there's no way you could see that any other, no better way.
No.
And to see what's going on down at Saquatucket, that really was great. Thank you, Caleb, for taking the time to do that and just giving us a bird's eye view of the progress down there.
It's a big project.
That is a big project.
Gives you a scope of how big it is.
It really, yeah. And to see no boats or anything in
know.
there, that's really incredible. Oh, thanks, Caleb. That was great. By the way, Halloween is practically here.
Yes.
And as you know, here at the community center, every Halloween, there is a big party that goes on here. On Tuesday, October 31st, beginning at 4:30 p.m., the annual Halloween trick-or-treat party is happening right here at the community center. It's time to trick-or-treat. There'll be food, there'll be crafts, there'll be the costume parade, there'll be prizes. You know, this is a real safe Halloween celebration, fun for all. So don't miss it. It's really great. Bring the kids, bring the grandkids. It's a lot of fun. You know, Carolyn and the crew here just do a wonderful job on this, and it's a great opportunity to come and have a safe Halloween. So that's, of course, Halloween, Tuesday, October 31st, beginning at 4:30.
And a lot of local businesses donate to it too.
Yes, they do,
Yes.
and it really makes for a great time
Yes,
here
it
at the
does.
community center. It really does.
And speaking of Halloween, of course, next to Halloween comes November. And in November, the bazaars begin.
That's for sure.
The Holy Trinity Parish Harvest Bazaar will be held on Saturday, November 11th from 9:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. in the Holy Trinity Church Hall, 246 Route 28, West Harwich. And they will be offering a Christmas room, baked goods, which go right away, so if you're interested, you need to be there when the doors open, jewelry and accessories, a regifting table, Chinese auction, handmade and craft items, and I know that a lot of busy elves have been working making sweaters and hats and scarves and so forth, so you might find some holiday gifts if you're looking for them. There will be wonderful raffles, attic treasures, and much more. So please join them and browse the great buys, and you can stay for lunch. They're going to have a nice lunch, too.
Food is always good
Yes,
there,
it
that's
is.
for sure.
Yes, it is.
Very good. Thanks, Eileen. Well, folks, that's our show for this week. We really appreciate you joining us on behalf of all of us here at Channel 18. Thanks so much for letting us come in and say hello to you each week.
Yes, and please take advantage of all the things that are going on around town.
Take care, everybody. Bye-bye for now.
Happy Halloween.